inside this, something positive is happening. It's not growing wings. It's dissolving itself, turning into liquid, then rebuilding every part.
You might think you have a pretty good idea. You know, a caterpillar tucks itself in, grows some wings, and pops out. But the truth is so much weirder and way more incredible than you can probably imagine.
Yeah, you heard that right. The caterpillar doesn't just sprout wings, it literally dissolves itself. It releases enzymes that just liquefies its entire body. It turns itself into a nutrient-rich goo, a smoothie basically.
So today, we're going deep inside that chrysalis to see one of the most amazing biological machines that evolution has ever dreamed up, the monarch butterfly's transformation. But first, to really get what's happening, you have to appreciate just how impossible this whole thing sounds. We're talking about a complete teardown and a total rebuild, all on a cellular level. I mean, think about it. The entire internal structure of the caterpillar, everything, is digested and destroyed. And from that liquid, a brand new animal, a butterfly, is built in about 10 days. How is that even possible? Well, the whole process actually starts long before the chrysalis is even a thought.
See, to pull off a miracle like this, you've got to prepare. And the first stage of a monarch's life, the caterpillar stage, has one single all-consuming mission: eat and eat and eat some more.
And it all starts with a very specific and pretty dangerous menu. A mother monarch will only lay her eggs on one type of plant: milkweed. Now here's the thing. Milkweed is packed with a poison that's lethal to most other insects. But monarchs, they evolved a special immunity. They don't just survive eating the poison, they actually store it in their bodies. This makes them a toxic little snack for any bird that gets too curious.
So, fueled by this endless, poisonous buffet, the caterpillar goes on one of the most extreme growth spurts in the entire animal kingdom. In just 2 weeks, it increases its body mass 2,000 times.
And to put that in perspective for you, that's like a 7-pound human baby ballooning up to 14,000 pounds. That's the weight of an elephant in just 2 weeks. All of this insane eating is to stockpile enough energy and raw materials for what comes next.
So, let's get to the main event. Once it's fat and happy, the caterpillar hangs itself upside down, sheds its skin one last time, and reveals the chrysalis. And this is where biology gets really weird.
There's a scientific name for this process, of course. It's called histolysis. A massive hormonal shift kicks in, and the caterpillar basically just digests itself from the inside out. All its muscles, its organs, its nerves, they all dissolve into a protein-rich liquid. Which, brings us to the biggest question of all, right? If the caterpillar is just a bag of goo, how on earth does it reorganize itself into something as complex and beautiful as a butterfly?
Well, here's the secret. The liquid doesn't rebuild itself. The answer lies in these tiny little blueprints that were hiding inside the caterpillar the entire time, just waiting for their moment.
They're called imaginal discs. Think of them as tiny, dormant bundles of cells that are protected from that digestive soup by a special molecular shield. And each disc is like a pre-programmed blueprint for a very specific body part. You've got wing discs, leg discs, eye discs, antenna discs, everything you need to build the final form. They survive the whole meltdown totally intact.
And this rebuilding phase, it has a name too: histogenesis. The imaginal discs wake up and start growing like crazy, using that liquid caterpillar goo as both fuel and building blocks. It is literally construction from destruction.
After about 10 days of this frantic, microscopic construction project, it's done. The chrysalis actually becomes transparent, and you can see the new butterfly inside, ready to break out.
But hold on, it's not ready to fly just yet. When the butterfly first emerges, its wings are all crumpled and soft. It has to pull off this amazing little feat of hydraulic engineering. It pumps its blood-like fluid, called hemolymph, into the veins of the wings. The pressure slowly inflates them, unfolding them like this intricate biological origami. And for the next couple of hours, it just has to wait for them to dry and harden, a time when it is completely defenseless.
Once its wings are good to go, this brand new creature, which, remember, was a liquid just a few days ago, is now programmed for a mission of unbelievable scale and precision.
Monarchs from east of the Rocky Mountains will now fly up to 4,500 kilometers to a very specific group of mountain peaks in Mexico, a place they have never, ever been to. And how do they navigate? They use a time-compensated sun compass.
They combine the sun's position with an internal clock in their antennae to figure out exactly which way to go. It's like a built-in GPS. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, here's the most mind-bending part of the whole story. The butterfly that gets to Mexico isn't the same one that left. The migration is a multi-generational relay race. It takes 3 generations flying north, spreading out, but that 4th generation, it's born different. It's a super generation. It lives way longer, and it instinctively makes that entire 4,500-kilometer flight all the way back south, navigating to a home its great-grandparents left months before.
It's just an incredible journey when you lay it all out. From a tiny egg, to a hungry caterpillar, to a dissolving liquid, to a completely rebuilt organism, and finally, a continent-crossing navigator. And all of those things are somehow the exact same animal.
So the monarch butterfly isn't just beautiful. It's a living example of one of the most extreme and sophisticated processes on our entire planet. And it really leaves you with the final thought. If this is what's happening inside a simple chrysalis, what other impossible biology is out there hiding in plain sight?